I'm Regina Bolt, last name Bolt. Everybody calls me Ro or Roro. So I am not just a science teacher or math teacher, I'm a STEM teacher, which incorporates science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. It's funny when you ask me where I'm from, I always go, where am I from? Because I'm always thinking about where I'm going. But I'm from South Carolina originally, so I picked up the accent there. But, yeah, that's always a weird question for me. I think one of the most transitional points in my life, I've had quite a few. I had been married for, I guess, about maybe 4 years, and in that same relationship for about 5, so a total of 9. And I had a feeling of disappearing. I felt like I was just disappearing, and I didn't know what it was. I was very unhealthy. Not physically, but mentally unhealthy. And I knew there was something else pulling and tugging at me that said, you're not done. There's so much more you have to do. And divorcing is not easy. Even when you think okay, this is going to happen. It'll be smooth, it'll be clean and everything. We'll stay friends. That doesn't happen. You kind of have to go off script. Or I did, for instance, I didn't want that lifestyle. I've always had a feeling that I didn't belong anywhere, and that feeling wasn't a negative feeling. It was always a feeling of, there's so much to see. This planet is full of wonderful experiences, so many beautiful places, and I wanted to see everything. I've just always felt this need to see everything. So that's kind of where the gypsy came in. I started performing in the circus around 2010. It was kind of a weird situation. I had moved from Los Angeles to Miami and picked up a circus job. I didn't plan it. It just kind of happened. I started training in Los Angeles. I walked along a pier one day in Santa Monica and saw circus performers. And I went, I think I'll join them. So I hung out with these people and started picking up some tricks, and then decided to move, as I usually do, and moved to Miami, and then I kind of missed training because I'd only been training maybe a month or so. So a coach there that I was talking to said, why don't you go by this circus and talk to them? So I walked in, and the lady there, Laurie Allen at Rainbow Circus, said, yeah, you can join us. So I joined the circus just like that. There are ground acts and there are air acts. I'm an air act, but I do have some ground acts. In the circus, you have to have both. You never know what your job's going to be. I've had to show up for both kinds of jobs. I'm an aerialist. I work on lyra, silks, trapeze, rope, but I also have ground acts. My first ground act I was a 9-foot lady with 7-foot long arms, and I stood on a pedestal and made weird kind of motions with my hands and body, and had a big hat on that like a dozen children could sit under, and a bodysuit dress that covered me from head to toe except for my eyes. So you never know what you're going to be doing in the circus. I have a love for lyra right now. It was silks when I first started. You couldn't catch me on anything hard, concrete. I wanted something soft and pliable. So it's all about texture for me. But when I was tired of the silks, I went to lyra, and right now that's what I love. I love spinning. I love the flow. I love using air, like a thin liquid. I think of it, how are you going to flow in it? The science is there. I've designed all of my stuff that I have, all my liras and my rig, and had it made. My dad made it. So yeah, everything I do is math and science. A lira is a bar, a hoop, and it can have 2 points on it, or one single point, or no point at all. Basic lira. It's about, and the diameter for me is about 42 across. The thickness, the thicker it is, it's more like a Cadillac. It's thicker as far as the material that it's made of. If it's thinner, it spins faster. When I'm teaching others, I bring out my big fat one, so it spins very slowly, and then we graduate up to the thinner one, and then they find out that it slices the air a little bit better. Yeah, my rig, I designed it. It's all geometry. It's all loads and drop capacities. When I'm performing, I'm making sure that everything I'm doing in the air constitutes like a flow of fluid. I'm always thinking, how am I going to push this thin fluid around and keep spinning? What can I do to make it spin more or less? Pushing against air or not. And you're always fighting gravity. So that's always, the case. Gosh, it's like being bathed in an ethereal light of God, because you're in that moment of creation and presentation. So it's a feeling of, wow, all that work I've just done, all that study, all those aches and pains, and then you've got your costume together. It's exhilarating. I was in the circus Miami. We had a costumer, Edwige Belmore. She passed away 2 years ago. She was fantastic. And then I saw a need in our circus that we needed a costumer. We needed someone to make these costumes. So I started making my own, and I have 2 other aerialists that came to me wanting costumes, so I made some costumes for them. But that's another place that I'm kind of venturing into, is the costuming. It's just, you have all these ideas in your head that you want to make, and no one else is able to make them or understand your ideas. So, there's a need there, and there's that creation again. You have to do what you have to do. You can't stop. If it's in you, you're either going to do it now, or it's going to fester, or you're going to do it later and you're going to regret you didn't do it earlier. So you got to do it. But I think everything needs to be done at a creation level. What product are you putting out there? Not just for sale, but for your heart, your soul. What is it that you're putting out there?